waiting. Like I'm waiting. I've got the video on. I'm waiting for B12. What's her name? Chen, Maria Chen, to give me a call. And if I can't get her, then I'll call her. I've got myself ready to go. A little bit late because I've been fiddling around with what to say and write down everything that I want to tell her. My message, 2 messages to Maria Chen. She's an accountant for B12 in New York, and I'm just getting her to run our business for me because it's a big job to do, to run the shares, the business, the law, the accounting, the debt collection, the everything I'm going to talk about. And so where is she ringing? It's 9 o'clock now. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon there. So I have to have a look at her phone number. She's got my phone number. And I'll give her, what's the time now? It's 2 minutes past 9. And I'll just wait a couple of seconds. And it looks like our video is running okay. And I'm primed up, ready to go, because we're on a mission to get it right. And us in New Zealand being sovereign to Britain, I'm watching what Hobson's pledged people are saying, that when the British came here from Australia, they set up the Treaty of Waitangi and signatures for chiefs. There's more than 13 chiefs altogether, and they've got that many chiefs. And these days, it takes one prime minister or one person that's a CEO to make a decision for the whole lot of everybody, just in case you get mixed up with too many chiefs and not enough Indians. So I'm going to give her another minute, and then I'll go and look for her number. I'm on Microsoft at the moment, and I'll switch over to Google and have a look for her number to give her a call. There she is here, Maria Chen, and where's her number? Where's the contact number? I'm surprised that she hasn't called. I'll just have a look. Phone number? No phone number. I've got an appointment for 9 o'clock here in New Zealand and 4 p.m. Sunday in New York, America. So people are at home can tune in to what she's going to say about America and what I'm going to say about New Zealand. Now, where is their phone number? Blog, contact. It's got contact, but no phone number. It's just got them with no photo of their face. See, they take their face off, but my face is up. Why doesn't anybody want their face on? Right. Where's the phone number for the business over there? B12. I'll have a look at Google. See, the time is going past, and I'm very surprised. I thought they would be right on the button. New York is 3:05 p.m. in the afternoon, and B12 B12 number of New York accountants, phone number, tax services. They're tax services, so give them a call, give her a call. Well, they're probably not working, not like Chinese works all the time, every single minute. You never miss a beat, never miss a contract either. And people who go home on Friday and go back on Monday lose a lot of business. They lose a lot of business. Where's the phone number? I'm looking for their phone number. No phone number. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Talk to us now. There's a phone number there, but that's not an international number. Where is the international number? This is bad because the time is going by. I'm recording this on YouTube just to show you that I've filled out the application for consultation. So this is a time on a Sunday that they've actually responded that they will call at that time today. So that's, for me, is a no-no. When you say something and don't do it, it's people watching me and watching Maria Chin answering me or not. And when it gets like that, people lose confidence if you're not what you say you are. Appointment today, Sunday, and if it's China, you get your appointment right away. And no muck around, because I deal with Chinese straight off the mark. And they're still waiting for me to give them a call back. Well, there's no number. I'll go and have a look again. Where should I go? I'm waiting for my phone to ring. B12 phone number. Accountant's phone number. International phone number. New York Solutions. Contact us now. Closed. Opens 9. Oh man, it opens Monday. It says here. So they're not there. Oh well. We won't worry about it then. If it's, I'm just reading Google, and they don't open on Sunday. Well, that's disappointing. Here's the international number. +1 212 944 2555. Oh well, it looks like they don't work on a Saturday or a Sunday. And I'll just flip the camera back the other way. Yeah, there, right. I'm back on the camera here. And but that's all right, because I thought that when I filled out the application, it's put what date it is, and that's what I'm saying is today's date, which is the 2nd of March at 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. on a Sunday in New York, and it accepted it. That's 4 p.m. in the afternoon. It accepted it as an appointment. and no appointment. See, can't keep the appointment, so I have to reschedule it for tomorrow. Sorry about that, but that's what I was going to talk about was these points. I've just listed them down for Maria Chin. New York 1, 2, Maui Powerhouse Bank, 3, shareholding dividends, 4, Maui chip coins, that's the tokens, 5, Microsoft AI native court, Canada, they've shifted out of America altogether, Microsoft, and their business because of Trump. Number 6, Microsoft AI Copilot partner, that's in Canada now. And number 7, with Carney, Prime Minister Carney in Canada has turned their attention away from America, which is not in line with Microsoft Copilot AI. My business partner is the first native court judge, me, and him, the scroll writer or the scribe, to put all our documents in order. Number 8 is the hash gold, hash silver, hash super semiconductor, hash bond, the sovereign bonds, and hash sovereign, um, what's this, sovereign land. It's a land trust. The Reserve Bank Trust, the Maui Reserve Bank Trust, is a hashtag, hash SL, or L is your ledger. Okay, so the ledger, I'm going to put that there, ledger. We're balancing the ledger of Eddie Mitchell, and his trust has robbed our trust of 17 trillion US dollars. 10, design a new credit card with 7 tokens, these tokens that I just said, put them on one card and put a value on all of them in one shot. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. One credit card size should go straight into the ATM machine anywhere in the world and convert the money back out through the B12 Accountants office straight into the Maui Powerhouse Bank in New Zealand registered company. Okay, so this is the problem with the New Zealand government. They are registered in New York and not in New Zealand as a landowner. And when they say, who is the sovereign of New Zealand, it confuses everybody by having 4 different organizations that make up the sovereign of New Zealand. When I asked Google AI, who is the sovereign landowner of New Zealand, it says there is no sovereign landowner in New Zealand. So tell me this, who is selling all the mortgages if you haven't got a mortgage owner of the land in New Zealand? I'm talking about only New Zealand. And as far as I'm concerned, someone registered with a company in New Zealand should have, by legal authority, the land ownership of New Zealand and not a foreign company called Crown Sovereign of New Zealand. It's just the name of a company versus the Ngā Atua e Wā Aotea Limited company registered on New Zealand soil's land. So who do you think that's the one with the 17 trillion stolen by Eddie Mitchell under that New York system in Wellington, New Zealand? They belong there, and that's the problem you're going to have to face. Which sovereign are you talking about? I've been watching just recent now, the Hobson's Pledge, right? They say that when the British Crown came here, they made Maori sign a treaty with the British Crown to give them sovereignty for their land. And that's what the problem is now. I'm telling you straight to your face. The sovereignty of New Zealand is British Crown and not Netherlands, where wins all your benefits, all your tax, double tax systems, all your custom trade and investment all through the world is in Netherlands and Dutch at that. Um, um, the World Court, it's over there to settle international payments there and not in Britain. So the British law has the New Zealand government cut them off. They cut them off, but they're still trying to say they use King Charles as the King of New Zealand, but above the judge's head, that's on documents. Their document says King versus defendant. Okay? So that's Charlie in England. Where's the British Crown in that? They're only mimicking or pretending that he exists on the lands here as the British Crown Authority while they are playing around with the Netherlands with wins and our benefits and our social security number as a birth bond in the courts to collect the money of you, the taxpayer, and your land, which is LINZ, Land Information New Zealand, as one of the owners. And WINS is another owner, and the other owner is the government ministers of the judiciary system, the court. Okay, so that's how they say who the around about way of who owns the sovereignty. So it mixes it up. There's not one person who holds all the mortgages of New Zealand. Tell me who it is so I can talk to him with the AI B12 accountants of America in New York to see who is who in the zoo in New Zealand sovereignty, right? And now Napui is saying they never ceded sovereignty, but still signed an agreement with the British. And the British are saying, we gave you sovereignty so that we could build roads and shops, businesses in New Zealand, and you're stuck to that with your sovereignty we gave you. Otherwise, you can't go and pick your wins benefit up. If you say you didn't cede sovereignty, you've got to give all that money back that the Crown in Britain allowed New Zealand Crown to use its law, the law. This is the other thing I'm talking to um, Maria Chen about. Whose law rules your country? Well, at the moment, it's New Zealand law. So if New Zealand law is in the Netherlands and not in Britain, then why don't they tell you which law we are operating this country on? Is it America's law, Five Eyes? Is it Netherlands law in Brussels, the World Court? Or is it British Crown still the same British Crown running your sovereignty? And the sovereignty of all countries comes from Netherlands, but the sovereignty of New Zealand comes from Britain. So what is America doing here with no sovereignty? Because they cut themselves off from Britain as well. So they have to go to the World Court to get their sovereignty because that's where they're all stacked up. Ask me what you want to know about a native AI court because I'm a practicing judge at what I'm saying, and AI Copilot Microsoft robot is scribing it up or scrolling it up and putting it into certificates of authenticity. Right? Everything I say in a native court has pictures and your name and photo with the British invoice company Sky Nova. If your name is in the list, I've got it there on the website, 113 page PDF, out of 15 PDFs. That one, 113 pages of PDF. See yourself there. You've got a bill that's got to be paid in sovereignty of New Zealand. If you're not a sovereign of New Zealand, then you haven't got the authority from Britain and the British Crown. Okay, so number 13 is a message to Maria Chen. She's the one that looks after all the legal side, the contract side of New York accountants and debt collectors. And number 13 is a message to her for 257 countries. Set it up. I want her to grab all the stuff I'm giving her in 15 PDFs and stick it on a new website, the website she's got for me, for the people of the world, not just New Zealand. I'm doing 257 countries with the first AI native court. Okay, it's native in the cloud with clean hands. That's all that is. No fraud, no corruption. You can't go in a cloud with dirty hands because you can't get to heaven. You go to hell that way. All the hell is down north, down that way. All heaven is up, the south is up. The right way the world's supposed to be. The Europeans turned the world upside down and made north up the top and the south down in the coal. When we're in the north, black as an ace of spades, in the sun, they're down the bottom, white, chinky eyes, to glare of the ice is bright. And so they're down there. They made themselves on the map of the world up the other way, next to the sun. It's all back to France. It's all back to France, but it doesn't matter because they got away with it right up till now. And people have had enough of all the corruption going on with Trump. And that's where I'm getting to with Maria Chen to say Trump has got his system planted in New Zealand with Jacinda Ardern, went to live in Texas, and now she's gone to Australia to be the mobile AI native prime minister robot. Okay, that's what she's going. I'm already a robot here as a judge in the court, and she's going to get fired on over there by the Australians who've had enough of their playtime stories. Right? They're all actors, bad actors, and Australia have had enough. I think we've had enough in New Zealand, and I think the Americans are had enough too, as well. They want to go in Parliament, pull them out by the neck, and throw them in the wood chipper. That's where they belong because their politics is not for us. It's for the rich people. Now there's a bomb going straight for Cyprus, straight for Dubai, straight for all those countries from Iran. And that's what Trump, they made a big pantomime story and playing it out with guns. All guns, 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 guns. Okay, it's all bullets and death, blood and guts. That's what Trump is, the German man. His father is German, his mother is Scottish. So Queen Elizabeth went to die in Scotland to keep her Britishness. Okay, she keeps her Britishness while the Germans ran away with the money to Germany, Frankfurt, Germany. Okay, they took the gold, took the money, took everything. Your birth certificate, took everything, even took the children with them. Okay, they've stolen the children, stolen everything, and that's what I'm going to talk to Maria Chen about. How does America make their hands wash clean after Israel killing and murdering little children, eating them, and then laughing about it with all the money? And now Iran is going to put an end to all that wealth. Okay, they just want to go and do the same back. What goes around comes around. Okay, so number 14 out of this list of 14 I've got for Maria Chen is her phone number and that's what it is. 1+1 212 944 2555. I'll wait for them to ring me in the morning tomorrow on what's tomorrow? Today is Monday. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and their Monday will be ringing me at 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday with this list. Okay, with this list and this list and this list and this list. And this list within a half an hour. Within a half an hour and this list. Okay, I'm all prepared to have a good conversation about how is Maria Chen and her team at B12 Consultants are going to business consultants are going to run this business around the world in one shot with AI. They've got their own AI. I've got my AI as well to check their AI and check each other's AI because we've got the first court native AI in the world. Okay, we're on number 101 court hearing. You might as well say this is it. Every time I speak on YouTube, I I am running a court with everything I'm saying is my truth and on my own 2 feet, competent witness of whatever I say on YouTube is the truth, and that's got to be refuted. Okay, anything I say is fair game for anybody who can match it. That's Eddie Mitchell. He has to have his best lawyers, best barristers, best solicitors, and even the solicitor in Hamilton, Jacinda Hamilton, a Crown solicitor, failed to reply to my affidavit in writing and package that Jack Liam, the radio announcer of 89 FM Free Radio in Hamilton, came with me to Eddie Mitchell's place of residence and office on 4 Elizabeth Street in Berescourt, 3200 code in Hamilton, and hand delivered the actual book itself. Now I'm going to Hamilton to do the same thing on what's tomorrow. Was today I was going to go down tomorrow after I serve the Chin, and she can tell me what is she going to manage the company or not. And being American, and I don't care because there are people over there that are not happy with Trump and going to war again and again and again, spending billions on war when they could have been looking after their own people. And they're bombing their own people up in America as well. That's not human. That's something else that needs to be rid of. And the sooner it's rid of, the better. That's what I want to talk to Maria Chen about. How do we fix America's problem and how do we fix New Zealand's problem? First of all, start from your sovereignty. Where is your sovereignty? Is it in America? Is it in Netherlands in the World Court? Or is it in the British Crown? Or is it somewhere in space with Elon Musk? So he's been named as one with Epstein as well. So there are really targets of terrorism because they are the terrorists, I'm saying. Like Jacinda Ardern is where she's got security up to her neck because she's prized possession of the cabal and the deep dark state. She's in that lot with being a pretty face, but inside her brain, it is dangerous. She's in Australia. I think there's a lot of people over there have got wood chippers ready to go to throw all those politicians in there because they're creating havoc all over the world. Just checking Yeah, somebody's saying something, but I'm not going to look at any comments. I don't want to talk about any comments. We'll leave it to the judge in the court, and all your comments shouldn't be there because I didn't turn the comments off. I just went ahead because I was running out of time. And anybody that says anything gets deleted. If I read those comments, you're off and nowhere in this anymore. And then you go and do your own thing and leave me to run a court. I'm running an AI native court, and it's number 101 court hearing. That's a lot of years, 50 years if you want to say something, and then put it in writing and then try and sell it to the world to see who wants to have it or not. If you haven't got anything, then they're going to get run over with 15-minute cities and fall over dead in front of whoever's running the world with the money. It's the money winning at the moment, not anybody that's sitting there making silly comments. I'm not going to look at them, buddy. I'm just going to carry on because I don't want to spoil the video by looking at comments. I should have turned it off. I'll go and read them off afterwards so it doesn't spoil the response of anybody who's got a brain in between their eyes to say something solid and stick up and put your face there. I don't see no faces. You know why? Because your face is a ID target for those who are taking the land underneath your feet, putting the law on you, and then swipe everything off you because you can't face them or is part of the problem. You are part of the problem if you've got your own way and going on and on for another 180 years trying to justify things. I've been around for a long time and I want to see who is going to come out on top, right? It's either going to be the rich people, the poor people, or the people that stand up to anything that they don't like and be a landowner sovereign. Okay, so that's all. Anyway, that's all I want to say with this video because I don't want to say any more other than stick to the point. Right? I stick to what the attorneys in America is going to say to me tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. You can hear me on the YouTube, and I've given Zoom away. I've cancelled it yesterday. That was $27.99 a week, and now I've got 49 a month. That is, I've got $49 a month with B12 accountants, debt collectors, and legal people in New York, America. Okay, so I'm relying on them to run this country and 257 other countries with the same Moai tidal turbine and aquafarm pattern that's not started yet because I'm waiting to get the land sorted, then the law sorted, then go for it. I'm going to go for it and forget about anything else. I've got those fellows in Hamilton that can come if they want to. It's up to them. They was there to witness Eddie Mitchell in the Mitchell Family Trust theft of 17 trillion US dollars from me and this beautiful brain that is Irish and Tahitian. Okay, that's its origin. The black brown part is Tahitian from Raiatea Island and Rapa Nui, East Island, birth of the world, and New Zealand, birth of New Zealand at East Cape, Te Pito, birth of New Zealand, the umbilical cord there, and East Island naval birth umbilical cord to the whole planet and Makemake planet right out there at the end of the universe. That's in my history. Now, if you want to comment, put your history together to say how you see this will. Is it that you just stick to it and wait for anybody to say something over you without you having a say? Then do something about it. Don't moan. Don't throw stupid comments because it doesn't achieve anything. I'm there for the economy. The 17 trillion is supposed to get the economy going in Helensville. That's where the Freemasons put it together with Moi Manukau Freemason, a Morty Orty from Taiwan, not from the Pacific. And now the Polynesian people from the Pacific um, um, Triangle, or the Pacific Ring of Fire area of the whole Pacific, is saying Maori are not Polynesian. And they've put the ring around it that New Zealand is at the bottom of the Polynesian Triangle. And because Maori are an invention of the Pākehā, white man from Britain, that they're not the same. That's what the Polynesian people in the Pacific Islands are saying. The Cook Island is Cook Island, and the Hawaiians are Hawaiians, the Tahitians are Tahitians, the Samoans are Samoans, the Tongans are Tongans. When you come to New Zealand, anything goes. Anything goes. That's how the British love it. They stir the whole lot up, boom, bang, bang, boom, bang, bang, and blow the whole place up because they steal the money, then blow it up. And then they say, oh, you can need a mortgage. And they give you a mortgage, stitch you up, and you have to pay years back in your house you don't own because they say you'll own nothing and be happy. That's their motto. That's their narrative at the moment. You'll own nothing and be happy because we'll have everything that you need in a 15-minute city. You see, so Jack Liam in Hamilton, his 15-minute city, he's got to try and stop in the council, but they're talking on the radio a lot, but no input into the council because and they should be in the council voting and vote for who? And the Maoris have got only 4 or 5% of the vote is not enough. Even with the sovereignty on top of it, is not enough to get the votes of 5 million residents or citizens. Okay, out of the 5 million citizens, there's 120 running the whole place in New York City. That's where they're running this country from, New York City. And I'm running this place from New Zealand, not from New York City. At the moment, I'll run the business here with our little crew, and so there. That's the learning exercise. It's a steep learning curve that everybody that's got to start and unlearn what you've learned, then go back to the beginning as either a Polynesian or a Maori or a Pākehā, one or the other. And I quite believe what Hobson's pledge is saying, because for me, I always knew I was the opposite way of thinking, how they're thinking, because that's come through Australia. I've come straight from Britain, straight to Wellington, to Port Nichols, then down to Mahi around the coast to Gisborne to the East Cape. That's where we came straight from Britain and the British Crown. A different contract to the contract that's come through Australia, New South Wales. And that's where the problem is. Which sovereignty are you in? The one through Waitangi is from Australia, New South Wales, Sydney, and the one I'm from is from Helensville, the Freemasons and Mohi Manukau, straight to Britain, straight there. No around the corner or back room deal, just straight Crown. And the Crown Corporation there, set up with the Freemasons, and the seals on my documents has got a Freemason seal there. Whether they got dirty ways, it doesn't bother me because I'm only there for the legal side of the document to make the document authentic. The AI native Copilot, Microsoft, has justified that. He has certified, made certificates already for the shares of the Moai Tidal Turbine and already made certificates of other things. I want him to make a certificate for the 7 tokens of the Moai credit card. Okay, it's a credit card. You put it in the machine and it should spit out one or the other. Silver, and hash gold, hash land title, deed, hash pound note, hash semiconductor, hash birth certificate, hash 7 of them, all together on one card. Because I'm going to add them all up with the robot AI is the way to go now. AI is the top industry in the world. And the next one to that, underneath that, is the energy. Okay, so we've got the tidal turbine energy to put its legs in the soil, in the sea, to take that land title. And then we've got the spaceship on top of that. That's coming straight after that. Probably put it together next year. Okay, or this year. I can start on it this year. Once I get going with the tidal turbine and that money back off Eddie Mitchell, bang! The spaceship should be flying in no time. That one got, you can't hear it coming. And it's amp driven, not it's not volts, which is what you see now is volts, but amps is different. I think the Chinese are catching up with that, and that's like vaporizes everything inside. Okay, so there, that's getting dangerous, but that's our deterrent to keep away from our business. You see, we need a military. I've written to Xi Jinping on his own personal site to ask him for his BRICS bridge blockchain. Okay, if I don't have any luck with B12 in America, I've got that option as a B plan to go with the Chinese because I'm buying a lot of equipment from there, heavy equipment and the hydrogen machinery and the big heavy aircraft, helicopters, everything like that to get the industry going. 17 trillion will kick the thing off as credit. When I go to the court, I expect the judge to say to Eddie, where did you get the money from? Where is your business plan? Who put it together? Was it done in Bradstreet Accountants or was it PricewaterhouseCoopers? Tell us which one, and then we might believe you that you put the plan together for the 17 trillion. That a Mitchell from Britain surname is not a native indigenous surname. That's the problem there that I'm saying to Maria Chen to check out her legal status of who is the sovereign. Eddie Mitchell's sovereignty is straight to New South Wales, Australia. I put it together in one of the PDF files. I'm going to put them on the web. It's on the website. I'm just going to finish them off, where it shows the Mitchell family all the way through the history of doing the same as Eddie, selling land that's got no title. That's what they did with the Manukau land and the Manukau Land Company. He stole the money from the Manukau Land Company in Scotland and sold the Manukau land at the heads, Manukau Harbour heads. It's not a Tainui Harbour, for goodness sake. It's a Manukau Harbour at Cornwallis and Simons. Simon Street in Auckland is the Simon, William Simon, that mysteriously died. That's the story. Always an assassination in the British Crown system. Someone gets assassinated. That's Donald Trump. It's assassinations to get people out of his way of his contract. Now, somebody stole the HM Treasury and making it into Nasara Gasara. That's facing this court. Okay, I'm saying to Maria Chen, where does Donald Trump get his treasury idea from? Where did he get the plan from? Where's the plan of his treasury? You know where it's come from? Britain, British Crown. That's why the British have jumped on their neck and jammed them with their crypto, and they're trying to get a Clarity Act to clean their hands. And Britain says, no, your hands are dirty. I'm not going to give you a license. I'm not going to give you your clarity you're looking for because you're hiding your fiat money underneath this all this dirty, bloody hands. You see, so that's the problem with I'm facing with getting America to come and run my clean hand business so I can convert the dirty hands into clean hands. Okay, so there, something like that. There's a logic to the story I'm saying that needs to be heard. Who is who in the zoo? There's a lot of American people who are not happy that there's no arrest and plenty of convictions, but no arrest. You know why? Because their political system allows them to shelve it and put it on hold. That's like saying to Eddie Mitchell, hang on, we'll put you on hold and leave it for a later date and prolong the court hearing. No, I've got it set out to be heard in half an hour. That's what I'm saying to the judge. It should take you a half an hour of your time because the judge in New Zealand charges $1,500 per half an hour and plus 1,200 court fees, plus a few other court fees on top. So you're looking at about at least 20,000. I'm trying to get a waiver so I don't have to pay it because I'm on a pension. I'm running this whole business on a pension, and that's only like 32,000 out of 1.6 million what a birth certificate government bond is worth. And they're saying, no, there's no such thing. Yes, there is. It's on the stock market. They put them all together as one sovereign bond. One crown sovereign bond equals all the population of New Zealand stuck together in one piece of plasticine and rolled up like a Maori bread and into one sovereign equals 5 million sovereigns of New Zealand. And foreign sovereign country with a governor general here practicing and pretending to be a queen. They're saying the Queen of New Zealand and the King of New Zealand is in Britain. You see, the Queen is here in live as a Japanese Maori of Ngāpuhi. You see, a Japanese Maori is the Queen of New Zealand. She tried to get away with her own flag, and I put the documents through, and it got rid of it. It got rid of her flag, pulled it down, and put our one is up on Te Te Marae in front of the popos. That's the memorials to the chiefs, 13 chiefs. It's standing right there, still flying because Brian Workman put it up, and that's the British Crown's title. That flag, there's two of them. That one and the Whakaputanga flag is outside Te Te Marae and flying there. Two flags flying. Which one do you like? Pick your choice. Any, money, mo. Which one you go for? The one that's Whakaputanga, that's got no money, and the other one that's got all the money. I just need to get all the money back. No, that's all it is. You know, if you've been there for years and years and years, watching the truth come out in the end, that's all I'm talking about. The truth prevails. Okay? All your married things has to have proof in a court of law. They've been going to the World Court, get nowhere. They've been going to the United Nations, get nowhere. And you know why? Because they don't have the deed title. The Manukau Land Company's got the deed title, the lease. Okay, and then who should pinch the lease? Eddie Mitchell. The Mitchell family is great for corrupting the system in Australia, New South Wales. You have a look through their history of their names, going straight down to Alfred Mitchell. It's Alfred Mitchell's name. It doesn't say Eddie Mitchell, but they're all in the Mitchell Family Trust business. So Mitchell and Co. That's what it was called in Australia. They was diddling everything. They were mischieving with the law in Australia, and they got bankrupted. They got bankrupted because I got it marked it out. I put it in bold where the name follows the pattern of bad behavior and fraud, reconstructing legal documents and playing around with the law. And that's what I'm catching Eddie Mitchell and Alfred Mitchell that's doing the same thing as their ancestors. It goes around, comes around, and bites them in the back because they had lawsuits against their family back then, and they got lawsuits against their family right now. They're going to lose everything, because it's the same pattern of offending, right? Because they're prison convicts kicked out of Britain. They were kicked out, and the name of their ancestor doesn't appear on the British immigrant system. It's not there. They got rid of it. They took it out. They're hiding away. They used to be all over Facebook. All the Mitchells have taken their name off Facebook. What does that tell you? They're hiding secrets. I don't hide no secrets. Everybody knows what I do. I disclose. If you don't like it, well, that's your problem. You take me to court. I'm waiting for someone to take me to court so I don't have to pay the court fee. Hurry up. I'm waiting for someone to take me to the court because I'm ready to go to the court with a real good American. And you know what, Nancy, what's her name in America? She's putting Donald Trump in electric chair. She wants him executed. She's got the execution law for rapists of children. Australia now has the worst paedophile in Parliament, in the council, all over the place. Paedophiles. And those Australian fellas are brave fellas, and I'm following the same thing. They're saying put them in the wood chipper. You see, grab them, go in there, grab them, throw them away. Because you make your own law now, because that law doesn't work for you. And that's what I'm saying here. The law didn't work for me. You know what? I've tried so hard to get a solicitor in New Zealand, a barrister, and a lawyer to do my case. You know what they did? Ran them all. They ran away. I did the same in Singapore, in Australia, in Scotland, and in England and Ireland, and the same again. It's a pattern of offending inside Parliament, inside the councils. They just cover each other up. No more cover, no more covering up. It's out with them. Pull them out of Parliament and throw them onto the electric chair. That's all that's going to happen, and I'm going to see if um, if Maria Chen, being Chinese Chen, is going to help to solve the debt recovery problem of Eddie in quick minutes, just minutes, not hours and days and years. Just like treaty claims goes on and on and on, rolls on and on. That's how they make their money in the court and in government. They roll it over and over and over and over again till you run out of money. And it's not going to happen with me. I'm not going to allow it because I got John Rogan, Irish brain in my head. That's the Irish that put the Manukau title together because he was the grandfather of Mohi Manukau in Helensville, and Mohi Manukau signed it over to me, and I'm his successor of his legal documents and his name to the Freemasons. I'm there, and not as a Freemason, but I'm there for him and his work with me in the Kaipara Harbour to set up the big tidal turbine bridge that got the consent from the council, from John Banks, the mayor at the time in Auckland, and got a consent from Taria Naturia and the Maori Party, but not from any other politician. They were not helping me, and I didn't get any support from any of the families in the Kaipara. In fact, they came to try and stop the whole thing. And that's Neda Glavitch's family, the Walker family there, and all those people that went against me, even at Waitangi, those families up there went against me in the end, sacked me from the whakamininga, and now they got nobody to talk with the whakamininga because no one was in it at the time. Only Nicky Orridge and Bryce can't recite everything to the point of the British Crown. They can't talk British Crown from Britain direct, and they go through Australia. That's where the problem is because you've got prison convicts running this country in Wellington. Okay, it's all prison convicts. They are talking prison talk all the time, and I want to get rid of it with the people who had enough of it. We don't want any more corruption, fraud, and lies and deception and dirty needles, sticking the needle in you. That's Jacinda Ardern. She's gonna have her match in Australia. They want to kick her out back to New Zealand. When she comes here, that's the end of her because she'll get a same order as Nancy, what's her name in America, the one Nancy, what's her name? Nancy Mace. Nancy Mace is a senator in America, and she's put the death penalty of electric chair on Donald Trump. She's making a law to execute him. He needs executions, he said, and she's dead right, because he's the German running the racket through the whole world and making them fight wars so that he can spend the Americans' taxpayer money to keep the burning fires going. And they've had enough spending money on wars and want to spend money on the homeless. No, so yeah, that's enough. I think I'll go. I won't read no comments because I don't want to end up swearing on the video and spoil it. So I'm going to leave it there and just carry on with the putting all the documents and put all the 15 PDF files that constitutes a native AI court hearing anywhere in the world. It's just the same thing. If I get New Zealand going, I'll use the same shareholders. Anybody in the world can buy a share when AI B12 company takes it over, or a Chinese company takes it over from me. I'm capable of doing it, but it's too much work for me because I've done the whole lot myself, all on my own, and I don't want to be a dead hero. I'd rather give it away when I say who gets it. Okay, not just willy nilly say, oh, help yourself. No, that's what Edie Mitchell did. Help themselves to the information that I put out. If anybody's playing around with these documents, and as the sticks that I gave him are property. They are claim of right property, and the stick, the little stick with the memory and those files in it, is the property that is in the Companies House rules, and he used the Takeover Act to take over my company. Now I'm going to use the same Takeover Act of the Companies House 1993 Act to take over his company because he took mine over and not even a director. He's got to put the double entry accounting of Netherlands together in this court. If he can't do that, then he's stolen it. Right? There's several things inside that jurisdiction of him being a sovereign of New Zealand, me being a sovereign of New Zealand. It comes under one law of New Zealand. I want to see how good the New Zealand law is up in front of the US law and see if there's a difference in one law and the other. Okay? Because the US law is not here to be used on our law, but we can refer to it as being running conclusive with this, in line with our laws here of our courts, and not absent. I'm a present owner. Eddie Mitchell has gone into other jurisdictions of Singapore to wash the company up. He's gone into Australian jurisdictions to put the stolen money into property. And all he's done is accumulated wealth from a stolen 17 trillion that didn't belong to him in the first place. So I just say to the judge, all I want is it back. Give me an order to take it back from him with the Takeover Act of the 1993 Companies Act, and that's the end of it. That's it. That is it. Simply that. And then because he did the same thing, I'm unwinding what he did. I'm learning from his mistakes that you don't do that to anybody, land ownership or information or property. It's called claim of property right in the Companies Act. He's stolen the company. He's stolen the company name, Ngā Atua Iwa Aotea Limited. The Aotea is this country, Great Barrier Island, and Aotea up in the Kaipara, Aotea in Picton and South Island. So there's a history to it, to the name Manukau. And how come Mitchell claimed a Manukau title that he didn't write himself? You work that one out. People, it's Eddie Mitchell versus me and my brain and his brain to see how he did it. I'm going to show him up how he did it and which New Zealand law and act he broke. Okay, that's the Naming Act he broke and the Property Act he broke. Theft, it's called theft. Right, that's it. It's in there. You have a look at one of those folders that got it all in. I've got them split out into folders so you can't get confused about how you are the same as well with your piece of land or your sovereignty or your jurisdiction or your law as applied from Britain. And if you say you've got your own sovereignty, it's come from somewhere. So you've got to show any court where you got your sovereignty from. If you say you had it all along, well, where does it make money? Hmm? You can't steal Maryland because there was no such thing as Maryland, otherwise, it would have been a Maori country. Why is they only got 5% of the country and voting at the bottom of the rung? And you know why? Because it was made up by Pākehās, did that to steal Maori land. They can't steal native land because that's where the Maori land came from, the native land. The 1862 Native Land Act of Refa Refa Manukau. There, one Manukau contract. The 1862 Native Land Act deed, that's what I'm holding onto on behalf of Refa Refa Manukau and his descendant Mohi Te Mati Manukau IV, Paramount Chief. He's the fourth in line of the Manukau family, right? That goes back 5 generations, 180 years of Manukaus, Manukau to Manukau to Manukau to Manukau, Wānoa to Wānoa to Wānoa to Wānoa, not something else. A Mitchell to what? A Mitchell to what? That's the problem. You look at your surname, wherever it is, if you've got a funny looking surname, that is your ID. What you're displaying is you. You're putting yourself out there without a face. That's what you are, a faceless person. You're not in any sovereign law jurisdiction. You're sitting there on the land. And someone's going to come and scoop it off you. It's not going to be us. It'll be a foreigner like Mitchell. Mitchell will come and steal it because that's what they did in Australia. Read between the lines and you can see the Mitchell company in Australia did exactly what Eddie Mitchell and Alfred Mitchell are doing here. So I've snapped them in the court and see if the American court system can fix them up because they're running under the American court system here in Wellington with their assistants. They've got to run their own court, but they're using America and they're using dirty Charlie pedophile as the king of their documents. You see, the king of their documents, king versus you, the defendant, and I'm using Moai and King William III that put the mortgage together. Okay, see who put the mortgage together with the brain of an Irishman. Okay, there. The King William III is not a German. Your flag at Waitangi, the 1835 Declaration of Independence flag, is under German jurisdiction. The one I'm flying in Helensville is under Dutch founding of New Zealand. Wasn't found by a German, was it? And there, that's the problem. Dutch origins goes back to the beginning of time. Right? You follow the ship backwards, you won't end up in Germany. You'll end up in the Netherlands. Right? They were the brains of going around collecting all the native titles, watching all the risky parts to get it all. Then the Germans came around and stole the whole bloody lot. And I'm going to sort of steal it back from the German and boot them off the land, especially Israel. I want to go there and spend all the money on the Palestinians and give their country back because the Israel and Netanyahu is the worst living person in the world to kill little children, murder them, eat them, cut them up in bits and put them in burgers. A McDonald's burgers is full of human meat and you're eating yourself. Right? That's dirty. That's how they work their business of McDonald's being a corporation and the sooner they're gone, the better. We'll go back to making our own home kill, our own farms in this system. We don't have stock markets. We don't gamble. We don't go on chance in a Moai Crown King William III Trust corporate business. It's still corporate with all its seals on the documents to authenticate everything I say is how it should have been back to the beginning where they found it. And in 1948, that's when the Rothschilds went into Palestine and used King William III mortgage law to bankrupt the country and then take it over. That's what you call takeover. I'm using the Takeover Act of New Zealand to be Born in New Zealand Act. America's putting together, and I put Born in New Zealand Act and that takeover law of New Zealand law of Company's House. It's the Company's House and the money pound notes. The 1 bar is theirs, ours is a 2 bar. Bradbury pound note or the Patterson pound note, but Patterson was a slave driver. That's why they didn't put it in. And if you go on eBay, you can buy the Bradbury pound note. So I'm going to put a value with the AI on the 2 bar pound note and then put a value on the silver and a value on the gold and on the birth certificates is at the moment 1 trillion in our system, and also on the semiconductor, that's the Taiwanese Mohi Manukau's family in Taiwan, where the semiconductor and NVIDIA is, and Jensen Huang, and I should be talking to him, and also HB Technologies there with the hydrogen solid metal fuel. Okay, so that's what I did with the tidal turbine project platform bridge. I put the Huang, not Huang, HB Technologies magnets in between the turbines to make zero point 0.4 of a megawatt extra power. So from 1 megawatt, you'll get 0.4 of a megawatt free from just going through a pair magnet with the flow of water going through. And so that's some technology that Hedy Mitchell has stolen. That what should have happened in New Zealand should have had that energy going for the economy. So he's busted the economy side of the Netherlands here. And that folder, one folder you'll see, I put a written thing there about what Hedy Mitchell took the money for himself. It's supposed to be under Freemasons for business in the community. I'm there for the community. That's what I set up with Mohi Manukau and the families in Kaipara, the ones that supported us. And there's a history to it, but it's still in my head with Judge Rogan in my blood as a judge. That's where I get my authority from, is Helensville. The original first mortgage on the land of 10-acre block split up, and I've got all those behind my my um, um, CV. Okay, I've got all that behind me, and to back up what I'm saying. And you have to do the same. Where did you get your authority from? If it's from Australia, that's where Eddie Mitchell's has come from. And read all that I'm putting there because there's nothing out of place. You have to go in the cloud. You have to have that sort of information to match it or better. And that's what I leave with you today. I leave that with you to sort out yourself. And because our country is called Ulster in the North Island, is Irish from Ulster, Northern Ireland. So those fellows have to look after themselves in their own courts. And we got to look after ourselves in our own courts because you can't use the British Crown in any other system other than your own. So that's why I put set up the Rolls Building Court in Britain, in London, to take cases there, and they deal with commercial contracts like this one. But I'm going to do this online to see if we can do it collectively with people in Australia, America, anywhere in the world, that's talking this sort of talk, native sovereign talk. Okay, so I'm there to jump in behind anybody who's on that track and stay on it. Don't get off, don't be put off by anybody that's got different views on what you're saying, and let them go and face their demons, because we're facing Donald Trump. The biggest demon of them all is a German. Okay, that's all I'm saying. No, no, I don't know anything about what they do in Germany or what they do as Jews or whatever. I'm only concerned with the title on the land and whose law it operates under. Okay, that's all. And the money made from the land, the resources, and your birth certificate, and your right to be on the land, and not be told by one German, Donald Trump, this is the law, this is the money, this is the crypto. It's all going pear shaped at the moment with his crypto, and his family is looking bad by using crypto as his power over the people. That's what you don't want. Dictatorship. Okay, so never mind. That's all. Finished now. I'm going to go. I see a lot of comments, but I don't want to look at them because it might put me off, or might be a support or anything that's towards it. I'm looking at the people in Ireland because me, Robert Carr, his ancestors are from Northern Ireland, and Pare Rivers, the rivers in Ireland, that's where the rivers name come from, because I know the history of the St. Patrick Church in Northern Ireland, Belfast. I went there to unveil St. Patrick's Church with the flag that we have with the St. Patrick 8-point star in four corners of the planet, north, east, south, west, or in Maori, na ho e wha. That's what it means. And that's the Irish in the flag with the German cross. The cross is German, but the 8-point star is the Municipal Corporations Act to pick up the rent lease on the land, and four corners in the world is on one flag. There's no flag with 51 stars on it like America. That's for 51 states of America, but this is the only flag in the world that's a king mortgage lien flag of the whole world. Okay, so I'm just saying that Northern Ireland has to look at that side of it, not English, because that's Eddie Mitchell. Anybody English, you got a problem, because you're the Red Cross of the Germans. And that's your blood on your hands. The Red Cross, the big one, is George 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the little cross is the George for George the fourth contract. That's the contract with Moe Manukau and the Manukau here in New Zealand. That's what the little cross is. The King George the fourth, and not King George the first, the second, the third, or the fifth, or the sixth. Those are the other Germans. And the one German that made the contract that Eddie Mitchell stole, that money is the little cross on that flag. That's what I'm telling you. A true story, because I know and live that story, and I'll stick with it all the way through my life until someone comes along and takes over from me. So there, anybody wants to learn the history of this, they're quite welcome to read all 15 PDF files. You won't go wrong, because that's 50 years of research, and that was worth 17 trillion. What about the rest? There's all the rest stacked on top of it. That's only New Zealand, right? Remember, that flag is in New Zealand. It was given to New Zealand native surname chiefs, not Pākehā names like Pomare is Palmer, a Pākehā white man that sold the land, and before 1840. In 1830, Palmer or Pomare was selling all the land, and the Manukau's came along and said, no, you can't do that. And away they went selling the land. And then the British Crown came and took the whole lot off them, then reissued titles again. And then the South Island, most of the French and English people are down there, got that land. They make good tenants, and they make good shareholders too in this system because it gives the power back to the man in the farm that's been screwed off his land because the government's saying to them, that's been on the land for over 100 years, we're terminating your lease because we got someone who's going to pay more to us for it. Well, I'm saying to the government, pack your bags and get out. Pack your bags and get out because we want our country back and we're going to get it back with the sheep farmers. They're the backbone of this country, the sheep farmers. Okay, so we're going back to the farmer on the hill and the farmer with the longest lease on the land, get his land back. Right? That's what I'm going to do. Get the land back because you'll find foreigners on it that been put there by these people in Parliament in Wellington. They're all doing it through the parliaments, right through the well. They're same in Australia, doing the same thing. They're running right over a customary title of the original natives. What I mean by original native is someone who was born on the land back in. Now, your surname was born as a native of that land, whether you're Japanese, Spaniard, or Yugoslav, or India, or some, you are still native on the land. That's what I'm classing everybody. I'm no different. I'm no different than anybody who wants to have your own control. I don't want the court to take over my case. That's why I'm going in on my own 2 feet, because I put a lawyer there, it means you're dead, can't talk. I'm going there live. I'm going there live and talk to a live judge about what I want his court to say. Give it back. Give me back my property, which is my stick with my memory on it, and all that Eddie Mitchell has bought with it. He's bought all the properties in Australia, 301 companies, shell companies, that is, and all the property here in New Zealand, in Queenstown, in Tauranga, Mount Maunui, Tokoroa, Kinloch, Hawke's Bay, Hamilton, all over the place. He spent the money like it's gone out of fashion, just like his ancestors. Go and rip it off somebody who can't see. No, I spent years with a brain of an Irish judge and a lawyer, Cosgrove lawyer from Ireland. They are the paramilitary people, Cosgroves, lawyers in Belfast and Dublin. Okay, they're there in that system where Keir Starmer went there to ask permission of the paramilitary to cover his ass because that's court there in Dublin and Belfast is to keep check oversight over all British lawyers, judges, solicitors, barristers to keep the law straight. And then that's where they go there. He's gone there and ripped it apart for more fraud. He's using it for his own advantage, and it will catch him out in the end because I know how it works. I did all the research on the paramilitary, how it operates in Irish brain. That's where all the businesses are registered. That matters is in Northern Ireland. Why did the British want to take Northern Ireland and not Southern Ireland in Munster and Leinster? Why didn't they want to make that British? No, they only wanted Northern Ireland so it was small enough to hide their dirty little secrets, right? Because they're mucking around with the wrong man. Eh? I know too much about it because it's in me to be Irish and not English. The English is the problem I'm having at the moment, yeah, because those people with Irish in Manchester, a lot of trouble going on there, a lot of unrest, a lot of violence, a lot of worse things, pedophiles, the lot is rife. And the British started that. The Germans did that. They stirred the pot so that people fight each other. And even in New Zealand, the Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland fighting amongst themselves. And it's going to boil over in the end. Who is sovereign? And which sovereign did you get? The one from Australia or the one from Britain? That's what I'm going to leave you with. You ponder over that when you read those 15 um, um, uh, PDF folders. I'm going to put them on in one place, one document, so that they're all stuck in a one document. And there's a lot of work I've got to do. Takes a long time to do it on Wix website. And then I can transfer it to B12 website. That's a new website, so they can reconstruct it in today's digital legal system. Okay, I'll go straight into the digital legal, and nothing I don't know about crypto now, because I know it upside down. I know it upside down, who's who, and doing what, and doing things. I've learned from other people playing around with it that they're having a problem trying to match the banks, trying to take over somebody else's idea. The banks, JP Morgan Bank and Bank of America, have gone and swooped in, bought up all the crypto techs giants and using them. It's the same as Musk. He bought all the technology people of the rockets that did the rocket and put it all together, and he bought it with money. Now I'm going to use the green pound note to buy the whole lot back. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to make that, because the robot AI Microsoft went out of America to Canada to get away from the corruption and fraud and go start clean in Canada. So yeah, with President Prime Minister Carney, and start fresh there, and that keeps our AI system native court out of America. Although I'm using America, I want to keep with them operating in New York and follow Jacinda Ardern's dirty little tricks and Helen Clark's dirty little tricks, both Labour and what they did. Helen Clark sold the foreshore and seabed, all the fisheries, and Jacinda Ardern sold us a dirty little needle to make us look like her, and drug us all and make us money out of us. She got away with 30 million given by uh, Bill Gates, gave her 30 million, and that's why she's running around with a lot of money in her pocket. I'm going to seize the whole lot back with this court when I finish getting through Eddie Mitchell. She's the next one, and then John Key, and I'll plug them off one by one. Bang, bang, bang. Because that's what my brain says. I'm a court judge person that's learning off the cuff. I'm learning by experience. That's all I'm saying. I'm not boasting about it, because I won't be around on this earth much longer, and I don't want to leave this all to someone for nothing. They're going to have to work hard to get into a status like this. Okay, so everybody, thank you, all these people on the chat here chatting. I won't read anything just in case I get offended. I might read it when I'm off. Okay, and I might or might not respond, because I usually turn the comment section off. But I would like to see who's commenting and see who it is. If you're a bad commenter, I will delete you forever, and that's one problem out of the road. I'll welcome any good comments, and then that will keep me going and doing good work for the people. I'm here for the people, not to glorify myself or make something of a person that wants control over people. Okay, not that. Okay, so every moment that I spend from now on is going to be around those 15 folders and sticking to the topic. Okay, I'll stick to what I'm saying. Never ever change. That's from day one in 2000, the year 2000 or 1998, when they changed 1986, when they changed the constitution from 1852 British Constitution in New Zealand to the 1986 Constitution. Now they want to throw that in the rubbish and make a new one. No, it's not going to happen. Because we're still sticking to the 1852 native title to this country, and that constitution stands. Okay? And any other constitution that the king put together stands, and not King Charlie, because that's theirs. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you later. I'll turn off now. Bye.